Hey guys, welcome aboard again. This time we're actually aboard. We're still on the dry. Hopefully only a few weeks left until we're actually bobbing around in the waves. Yeah, but we'll get to that point. For the time being, as I promised, you're invited inside. I'll show you what's going on here. This is a very dynamic scene because I don't know if you can believe it, but 3 days ago the entire floor was completely, completely empty. I don't know if that's even believable. But there's so many projects going on that we keep piling stuff up because we actually had to empty the outside cabins, the polyamoris, because we are creating, where is it? Oh, the frames for the beds that are going to be lifted, and the mattresses are going to lift up so that we can actually access the entire loading space under the bed. And this is the way the bed looks now. I wasn't really expecting they were going to take anything apart at this stage, but we did. And we actually evacuated two air conditioners from this and the whole installation, so things became a lot cleaner, a lot better, and we're hoping to resurrect one of those to create like one small central AC unit, but we'll see. That's cosmetics part. In any case, we also did quite a bit of update to electrical over here. There is right where you see those gray things, this is where the electric motors for the electric winches are going to be. So there are going to be 3 of those contactors over here, and I have to lead a much bigger wire here that's going to carry about 500 amps to power all these 3 winches at the same time without tripping and dropping voltage and that kind of stuff. So a lot of update over here going on. I also ripped out the entire 110 installation, so things got a lot nicer in the pipes where the cables run, and a lot more space to run new things. So the electrical situation has been cleaned up quite a bit. There's still a little bit to do, but not a whole lot. The how should I say, the backbone of everything is pretty much working. Pretty much, I said, because I'm missing one wire on the AC side, on the 240 volt side, and I'm missing a little bit of clean up on the 12 volt side. But let me show you that because it's completely abstract unless you're actually seeing what I'm doing. So let's go downstairs. I don't know if you can see this, but the whole boat is already painted. We actually protected some of the areas so not to mess them up, but everything has been spray painted. And it was quite a process, but it's done and it's beautiful and we love it. It's fresh, it's nice, clean. It really made a difference. Where we are here is where the kitchen lands. In fact, this area here, this gray strip, a bit bigger than the gray strip, is where the island is. And there are the 2 countertops on the other side and the cabinets. And all that is actually already being manufactured in a small factory not far from here, and the guys are going to install it probably in about a week's time, give or take. So right before that we're going to have to lay down the flooring, and the flooring is easy because it's PVC, so it should take 1 day and we should have it done. So that's the cosmetics of this area. All the electrical stuff is already LED over here. We created new circuits, everything separate, because as you remember, we are going from propane cooking to induction cooking. So that means 2 big loads on the batteries. One is induction stove, induction cooktop, and the other is baking stove, right? So both are 3.6 kilowatts. So that's quite big for those of you who know what the kilowatts are. And let me show you what happened here in order to accommodate all that. So we have, first of all, added 50% batteries. So now we have 12 100 amp hour lithium batteries as opposed to 8. Let me show you around here. So that's where the bank is. Everything is already connected. That was about 3 days worth of work just connecting these cables and manufacturing them. To seal the connections, of course, always a surprise. Okay, now we have the right one. And now we can keep going until I got all the 8 ends, at least for the moment. Anyway, so this has, I'm not saying I created it, but I literally rebuilt it to the current specs. So this has mostly new wires. Looks like this. One moment. So this is where this is pretty much electrical heart of the entire boat. And this can carry 1200 amps, which is pretty much maximum what we can get out of the batteries long distance, long term, right? Because obviously you can create more load at any given time for just a short period of time. This, let me see, where's the frame? I want to show you, because this side is all the 240 volts, kind of a house thing. So this ends up here, and these are the little stickers where you'll know which circuit breakers is for what. So everything has been nicely separated. Basically induction cooktop, the stove, rear sockets, front sockets, washing machine and the fridge, dishwasher, and a hot water heater. So everything is nicely separated. It's got its own circuits. So right now, one thing is not going to trip the entire boat. And this is the mains, right? And on the other side, I don't know if you remember this whole story, but let me see if there's anything else I want to show you. For those of you who haven't been here for quite a while, we already have in place new, nice new shelving, all these. The cabling over there looks a little bit like a mess, but I purposely haven't wrapped everything around yet because I'm still making revisions. Once I'm done and happy, I'm just going to take probably about an hour or so with a bunch of strips and basically tie everything with cable ties and clean everything up. But electrically speaking, everything is in place. You know, we even have sockets for the tools here and there as well. We have wires led for things that are going to be in the kitchen that are already placed through the floor. For example, here, see I kind of stuck it halfway there so that I can pull it out, and this way I have everything ready. This is for the dishwasher, for example, yeah? And let's see. I was talking about 240 volt AC. This is another addition that's going to support the kind of an infrastructure that's going to support the new loads, the new cooking and stove. I don't know if you remember this, but this space here under the salon was occupied by a diesel tank. Guess what happened? That diesel tank is right here right now. We moved it. And we put a black water tank on top of it. And this created this entire space here that is going to house a fridge in this corner, and the 2 Quattros are already here. So we added one. And what is a Quattro? Quattro is basically a very intelligent box that is an inverter, charger at the same time, and the 2 can be put together even on the AC side. So for those of you who know much about somewhat about electricity, this is kind of a miracle because you can actually put 2 AC sources together. And they actually talk to each other and they come in phase. So it's really nice because by placing them together, we can get 10 kilowatts, which is pretty much the supply that you get in a normal house. So there's no problem putting a dishwasher, washer, and let's say, and cooking all at the same time. It shouldn't trip the whole situation. And as you see here, I kind of made it really nice and clean finally. All the cabling is labeled, you know, all the terminals are nicely done. Everything is laid out in such a way that you can easily diagnose what's going on. So I'm very, very, very happy. And all the cables are done with thermal protection, with a thermoplastic protection with the glue inside, so they're actually waterproof. It's been quite a bit of work, but I'm extremely happy. And here everything is already laid out with space for the fridge. And now we're back in the salon, and I want to show you something that Adam thought up, which is super cool. Because I don't know if you don't have to remember. I'll show you what it used to be. It used to be like this. It used to be that all the surfaces under the cushions in the salon were basically made out of this plywood and had holes here and there where you would have to put the cushion on top of your head, dive, hold this, and try to dig something out from underneath. Well, guess what? Our life has just changed. Because Adam has thought up this really cute idea of, first of all, recycling our kitchen furniture, right? And second, making something like this out of it. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, I love it. And he actually managed to use this space in a very sensible manner, right? Conversely, on the other side, same shit. We have, let me actually hide these things because I'm working on them. But we have the same situation, except we put more shelves. And here, for example, we're going to have servers. And I already put some nice sockets on the inside to be able to turn everything on and off at the same time. And here I was doing some revisions to the cabling. Right now I have few Ethernet things to run, but nevertheless, it's starting to be pretty much where it should be. Here, all the wires for the mast. When you step the mast, when the mast lands up on its own place, the cables run from here to here, from here to here, and then we have a nice surprise for you. We're going to have 4 cameras on the mast that are going to be looping. So we're going to be able to finally record things that normally never got recorded. So here's how it's going to run. We're going to have 4 Ethernets, which are already in place in the mast. But anyway, they're going to run from here to here to this switch, and 1 Ethernet is going to run from here to there, to the server, to this little router, and then the server, and we're going to have access to all the images the whole time. So it's going to be super cool. And also this really cute 2 SIM card router on top of the mast is going to end up running this way as well. So yeah, power supply for that kind of thing. So here is not going to change a whole lot, except I'm going to have to re-update the panels, because some of the things are leaving. Like, for example, this aggregate readout for the solar panels. We're not going to need that anymore because it's going to be all integrated into Victron network. So we're going to be able to see that on that main screen on the Color GX, so that we can get rid of. But we're going to have to kind of move things around a bit, because we have to make space for the 12-inch Raymarine, right? And then also, I don't know if you remember, but we used to have this doghouse here. Well, that went. Doghouse is gone. Having said that, we actually have space right now to create, to put a bit bigger screen for the charts. But at the same time, when we're on anchor, we can switch the source and actually use it as a, flip it a bit this way, and actually be able to watch movies and that kind of stuff, and just use one screen for all that. So that's going to be a little bit of improvement again. These get replaced with a really cute ones. If we have time, I'll show you. I don't know, have you seen that? You haven't seen that? I'm going to show you. It's really good. It's good. I mean, it's good. Did I tell you it's good? It's good. All right. This is where I spend the most time in the last few days, because all this mess that you see here, all this wiring. First of all, I created this crazy thing, and just after I created it, I realized that my body's geometry might not be able to pull it off. So in order to get in here, you have to do this. You have to bend your feet left and back, put yourself on your knees, now twist your head sideways, and that's the only way you can get in, and lay down the cables. And now you're almost ready to freak out because you don't know if your head is gonna get out of there, or you're gonna have to call an ambulance. So yeah, I mean, no joke. I found this space that was completely sealed. There was nothing in there. It was just a one small revision, and we had no access there. And there were actually a few drips of water inside. I don't know where from, because everything else looks dry. But anyway, we're gonna make a hole going to this space, which is where the bow thruster is. And also we made this beautiful Polynesia cabin wider. How? Because until now we had panels that were on the skeleton that was encompassing this omega, right? Instead, now we're laying the panels flat onto the wall. Omega became a shelf, as you see. This Adam has thought up and created. And then you're gonna have another panel flat on the surface of the side of the boat. So we're gaining this much on much of the space, right? We're no longer gonna have this kind of an hourglass shaped cabin. It's just basically gonna be straight walls with two shelves. So it's much nicer, much easier. It's not the end of it. This is where all the control for the control boxes and radio control for the windlass are gonna run, and they're gonna run up the cables. So this is the control box. These are the control boxes for the radio remote for the windlass, and the contactors, and those are the main cables. And we're gonna run them up there to the shelf where the windlass is gonna house right behind this bulkhead. Okay, guys, on the right side, we're pretty much one step behind the left side. We're also taking apart the bed and taking out all the AC piping and wiring. So we saved some serious pounds and kilograms on that, and a lot of old stuff has gone, which I'm really happy about because it's the stuff that we haven't used in 7 years. So no point floating around with it. This is where our, how should I say, storage for all the new parts is as well. So that's where we take all the new winches and whatnot. I was going to show you something super cool. Ania hasn't seen that either. There it is. I present you the new front window for the salon. Ha! Ha ha ha!
Wow.
Ha! Ha ha!
Ha ha.
No shit, huh? Mm-hmm. Cute. Now you understand why I wanted the black foil all around.
Yes.
Because it's gonna be one black stripe.
Super cool.
I'm glad you like it. Especially for you, honey. Okay, one last thing, bathrooms. Painted. Ready for some cosmetics. We're gonna take this a bit apart still before we actually put it in place because of all the electrical and a little bit of pipe work. But the new, I don't know if you recognize the countertops. Those are our old kitchen countertops that we cut into new shapes, and we're gonna have a nice new updated bathroom. But everything is already painted, spray painted. It's beautiful. It's shiny. It's smooth. All right, guys. Now we have to. Once we're done, we're gonna paint the floor one last thing because we just don't want to get it dirty. We're gonna paint it with anti-skid, and we're still deciding. We're probably gonna use the bathrooms as like a testing bed for what we want to do on the deck. So we'll see what happens here. There's quite a few crazy ideas of how to do anti-skid in a cool way. One of them is, for example, laying down a two-part white paint, and then putting sugar over it so it gets all crumpled up, right? And then when it gets dry, you just take water and basically dissolve the sugar, let it go, and the paint remains all kind of like, you know, with craters. So anyway, that's one of the crazy ideas. This is our new windlass motor, which by the way is identical to the winch motor. I'm kind of a freak about interchangeability so that we don't have to carry too many spare parts. Anyway, we're back in the cockpit, and here we're gonna have to finish off the door, the hinges and all that stuff to be able to come down to the engine room from here, which means that's gonna go. It's gonna be a flat, nice floor. Finally, no more toe braking on this one. The old engine is already up top here, waiting for the crane. The old sail drive is already here up top. The new one you already saw is already put downstairs. And the new engine is arriving next week. So that's going to be a big thing. And also the section of the roof that we created, the extra section of the roof, is also arriving next week. So all this is going to get put in place. Watch out for that. See you next time.
Segredos venda floresta de luz Pachamama, Pachamama, abre a consciência dos seus filhos a crescer.